And we are back. Aaron Pro Doggy Johnson alongside Joshua Josie Howard. Talk to me a little about this, Joshi. We're back. A little bit of a long pause, but we are here. Typhoon Division, Cyka Squad Academy going up against the Bangkok Ballbusters. Break it down for me a little bit here.
Yeah, we got a lot of interesting things going on, just as we saw earlier in the day between Arbol and Atlas. Multiple bans missed out due to rule infractions coming out from the side of Cyka Squad. It's going to be very exciting as we start to get into this champion select, and I'm very excited to see how both these teams actually draft. Not having any bans will have a big effect on the way you're actually looking to draft around. You can't ban out one tricks, you can't stop huge counter picks from coming up, and it's really going to start hurting this blue side to see if they're actually able to adjust to the difference in the draft.
And exactly, without any bans, Cyka Squad Academy, they're going to be at such a disadvantage here. Bangkok Ballbusters come in. They had a great game during the Open Waters event last week. Great Jace had a huge game on the Ornn as well as Duck Solo on that Yasuo. So we might start to see some of those picks that we saw last week start to come back in, especially seeing that they weren't banned out. So a really tough sledding here for Cyka Squad Academy, but we'll see how they adjust. And as we see the Kane start to come in again, we saw Kane last game, and he's going to come in again this game. So high priority pick coming in for that jungler.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how they are actually going to be looking at. We do see that the Zoe's already been banned away, and it is going to take just a little bit longer coming out from the side of CSA as they, you know, we already said this, they don't have any bans right now, so it is going to be very difficult for them to play around. With the Zoe already coming out, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more mid lane targeted bans, and no surprise, they're also going to be banning away Brayden's Ahri.
Absolutely jumping the gun a little bit here maybe on my part, but yeah, you look at some of these bands that have already come out, and the mid lane focus is there, Ahri and like you said the Zoe, so that focus is going to be to pinch that pool down. We talked about it in the last game. We got to make sure that when you're a mid laner and you know you don't have any bands, you're going to probably get counterpicked in this matchup, so it's going to be difficult for Cyka Squad Academy in that mid lane to try and get some type of advantage for them, knowing that they're going to be in a lane that's probably going to be picked against them.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons why you like to play on the red side in general. You're guaranteed one counter pick, and you have a lot of freedom to do what you want with that. You can counter pick the mid lane, you can counter pick the top lane. Sometimes you'll even see counter picks in the jungle, but the Thresh coming out, they want to make sure that they have a rock in the bot lane. Thresh isn't super well known for being able to do one thing super well, but he's such a strong generalist. He can do almost anything. You can make plays, you can make great escapes, and you have some engage tools as well, but it's getting counterpicked. Looks like they're trying to find this Alistar right now for Cardi. Great pick into the Thresh. Doesn't take nearly as much damage due to the healing passive, and the counter engage potential, and even the turret dives later on are so scary, and it's getting paired right now with the Cyka. Such a terrifying bot lane as the game goes on.
And you talk about it before. Yes, Thresh is going to be able to do a lot of different things for CSA here. But the thing that you got to look for is with that Cyka and that Alistar, that's such a huge pressure lane that you're going to get for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters, especially with the way Cyka is going to be able to get into that back line. Right now, it looks like the Kog'Maw is going to get hovered a little bit here. Kog'Maw is pretty squishy and also pretty immobile. So we're going to have to pay attention to that in the matchup that I'm assuming we'll go down into the bot lane. But if that happens, it's going to be tough. Again, we said it before, for Cyka Squad Academy to really, you know, do much with these penalties that they've been given and how it's really affecting this here draft phase.
We have to pay attention, though, to the fact that Quicksilver is going to be busting Viper's balls. This Kog'Maw is the biggest single counterpick to Cyka that exists in League of Legends. He outranges you at all points, and he does just as much damage as the game goes on. It's going to be very difficult for Viper's Cyka to move around, and the double range advantage that Kog'Maw and Thresh provide up against the Cyka Alistar is going to be very scary. They're going to be very reliant on actually having Bliss come down and trying to interrupt the flow of the lane, but we're already getting into the second round of bans as the Aatrox is going to be banned away. CSA not showing either of their solo laners, whereas Bangkok does have the Gragas, which can go into one of the solo lanes, but it's more likely to go into the jungle. And what WTF? 2 Aatroxes? You just banned the champion twice? That's absolutely insane. You definitely don't want to see this champion in this game whatsoever.
Well, he did go ahead and get that that early ban, early buff in this latest patch. But we will go through the finishing parts here of the pick and ban phase.
Yeah, as we do see that it is actually going to be a Syndra ban coming out from the side of BBB. And we have to see how the rest of it is going to be going through. It does look like we are having a couple production issues. I guess we'll find out how the rest of this draft goes in just a minute. But with all of these bans targeted towards the mid lane coming out from the side of BDB, I have to be a little bit worried about the solo lanes coming out from the side of Cyka Squad Academy. They don't have a lot of options coming out to them. So I'm curious to see how this actually goes up, but they finally figured it out. It is going to be the Ornn and the Ryze pick up for BBB and CSA respectively, and then the Cho'Gath, another response to the Ornn.
Yeah, we looked at it and we talked about it before. With such a pinch on that mid lane for both teams, really, the Ryze coming in, I think, is going to be a safe pick. He's going to be able to give that damage out for CSA here. He's going to be able to put out a lot of that pressure in with his ultimate, the Realm Warp, being able to get to and from different objectives here, maybe even start to roam down in that bot lane. As you see that Duck Solo will go ahead and get that Yasuo pick for himself as well. That's going to be a good pick. We talked about it again earlier last week during the Open Waters event. He was amazing on this Yasuo, so it's going to be fun to see Duck Solo again on this comfort pick.
Yeah, making a repeat performance. We did see Ryze nerfed a little bit on this patch. The root reduction cut by a full 25%. That's really going to hurt the ability to actually gank and lock down a single target. And with the Kayn picked up, once again, we saw that it had a dismal performance earlier in the day as Atlas and Arbol went head-to-head. Hopefully Black Dove will have a little bit more success, but it's going up against a Gragas, and Gragas has so much early dueling potential, whereas Kayn a little bit lacking. So the side of CSA definitely has their work cut out for them. They're going to need to be very strong, very decisive in their calls as this game starts to get longer, because right now the side of Bangkok looking very strong.
Absolutely, and we talked about it before. Although Kog'Maw may be in the advantage with Kai'Sa down in the bot lane, once it starts getting into that late game, these fights for Bangkok Ballbusters is going to be very good in their favor. Kai'Sa is going to put out so much damage early on. You got the Call of the Forge God along with the Alistar for the engage. Gragas can get in there with the engage. So many different knockups to set up Duck Solo on this Yasuo. So team fighting right now definitely looks like it's going to be in the side of Bangkok Ballbusters. But on the flip side, if this Kog'Maw can get ahead and get going, the damage is going to be there.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to the way that these two teams like to fight. The side of CSA is very much front to back, whereas the Bangkok squad are looking to dodge that entirely and get directly onto the back line. If they can set up their battle lines, like we mentioned earlier, if Vitamin Bread and Black Dove can set up a front line for Brayden and Quicksilver to play around, it's going to be very difficult. They are going to be able to shred through Great Jace and Blizz like nobody's business. And then the fact that there's very little threat onto the back line against Bangkok is going to matter much less, because they will have nobody to defend them, and this Kog'Maw will be able to chew them apart from long range. So it's about which team is able to play to their win conditions. They both have them, but they're both trying to dodge their opponent's win conditions by definition of the way they're trying to play.
Absolutely, and I kind of like CSA here going ahead and putting all their eggs in the Kog'Maw basket here, because they are going to be able to pump out that damage if Kog'Maw can get that early lead. Ryze is going to be able to scale into the late game, as well as that Cho'Gath, especially if he can go ahead and get big. If Vitamin Bread can go ahead and get this Cho'Gath going early, he's going to be difficult to kill into the late game. So a lot to see coming out of the pick and ban phase for both teams. All the eggs may be into the Kog'Maw basket like we talked about before, so a lot of eyes are going to be on Quicksilver to see whether or not he's going to be able to pump out the damage here for CSA.
Yeah, and one interesting thing that we're already seeing come out is that Bliss on the Gragas is opting for something a little bit less common. He's actually going for the Aftershock from the jungle. This has not been as popular recently, particularly amongst competitive play, where the Predator has been so impactful. You're able to run around super quickly, find easy body slams, and get the engage tools down that you're looking for. But the Aftershock will make you very tanky. It shores up a little bit the way that they're trying to play if they're looking for a front-to-back team fight, but in all other situations, it makes your access to the backline a little bit more difficult.
Absolutely, and
See if that's going to
it makes a lot of difference here because you can look at it. Like you said before, if they want to go ahead, Bangkok Bangbusters, if they want to go ahead and get that front to back line going with the Ornn, with the tankier Gragas, not going that way of the Predator, but going the Aftershock along with the Alistar, that sets up a very beefy front line for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters. And Kai's going to be able to go ahead. Viper Fang will be able to punch out that damage. Same thing with Duxo and the Shiasua, like we talked about before. So it's really going to depend on, I believe, the early game to see how far ahead Kog'Maw or Kai'Sa can get. If Kog'Maw can go ahead and punish this Kai'Sa Alistar pick and Thresh can get some key hooks in early, it's going to be good for the side of Cyka because they will be able to get a lot of damage in early on.
It did indeed. We are going to have a little bit of technical difficulty, so it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get into the game. But I want to take another moment to take a look at how this bot lane should actually be playing out. We're seeing that Viper Fang is going with a much more defensive build coming out. Does have the fleet footwork as well as the heal. Now, Papa Smithy gave us this bit of wisdom coming out relatively recently for professional play. If Kai'Sa takes heal, it's generally going to be much more aggressive. You're going to be going for the AD build, the Storm Razor, looking for the early scaling, whereas Kai'Sas who take teleport tend to be going for the AP. I'm not sure if that's how it's going to be shaking out today, but it is something to keep in mind with the reduction to the passive damage coming out. We're expecting a lot of Kai'Sas to move towards the base damage, but we are already into game and 5 members going into the enemy jungle.
And right off the bat, we talked about it before, SCA looking for an early invade here onto the blue buff. They may find Viper Fang out here who looks like she may be on the wrong side. This Kai'Sa may be on the wrong side of this map right now, but it looks like just some early vision in for the side of CSA. So not too bad of an invade there. They weren't looking for too many kills, maybe getting a death sentence early on from the Thresh, but right off the bat, get some early deep vision, let them know kind of which way Bliss is going to be going. I like this play right here for coming from CSA.
Yeah, I think it was pretty strong overall, moving in, getting some vision down, getting the knowledge on where Bliss is going to be playing, but it looks like it's going to be matched. Great Jace moving up into the top half of the map, getting their own vision down on the opponent's blue buff. Now, the way that Kane starts this is going to be very telling. We're seeing that he's looking to start with Kog'Maw and Thresh at his red buff, and this is a little bit slower a lot of the time, but picking up the red buff early on means that he is going to have a stronger dueling advantage compared to Bliss going for the blue buff. And the way that they're pathing, they could very well meet up at this first Scuttle Crab. But it doesn't look like either team is looking to go for that early aggression, and ultimately both teams are going to be backing away, which is potentially really good for the side of Cyka. They do have the advantage down here in the bot lane, and if they're able to press it, it's going to be super helpful for them without the jungle interference coming from Bliss.
Absolutely, and we're going to look and see jungle pathing, like I said, is going to be so important here for coming in from both sides. Bliss right now looking like he is going to roam down a little bit to this bot side, maybe pick up that Scuttle Crab for himself as pings start to come out onto Black Dove in his jungle. So right now, a lot of vision is going to be go ahead and be seen for
level 2.
As we see a level 2 invade, level 2 gank right now, and Cardi, good headbutt pulverized, a lot of damage coming in onto this bot lane. And we talked about it before, anytime you can go ahead and get that early aggression in from this bot lane is going to be good.
Yeah, this is also potentially disastrous for the top half of the map. Black Dove getting spotted out, and that ward not able to pick up the Scuttle Crab is going to have to cede it over to Bliss, and that's really going to hurt this Kane. He wants to find advantages, get far ahead very early on in the game, but if he's not in a position where he's even out CSing this Gragas and not finding ganks, he's going to be put really far behind. already down 2 camps, trying to move into the bottom half, doesn't do the Gromp. This is rather inefficient coming out from Black Dove. He needs to find something soon, or he could fall catastrophically far down.
Absolutely, and we're gonna have to pay attention to that and see, as we look like a gank coming in onto the mid lane right now. Black Dove giving a little bit of attention to Duck Solo. Duck Solo able to keep his summoner spells, but again, letting him know that he is there. Black Dove right now on this Kayn is going to try and be as aggressive as possible early on, especially if he's able to keep an advantage over Bliss.
And it's so difficult for him to do that right now. Look at the ward coverage already coming out from the side of Bangkok. They have one at his Raptors, they have one in their Tribush, and they have the Scuttle Crab. There are no gank routes available from the bottom half of mid lane or into the bottom lane, period. He is going to be so stuck. He's got very little to farm. He's down 2 whole camps already. And he's in a position where he can't actually affect this lane. He can look for a lane gank, maybe. The Lantern coming out from Sungwoo Jim could be very helpful, but no, he's not even looking for that. Gragas is complete control of this jungle matchup right now, and that's going to be paying off huge if he's able to get ahead and stay ahead. He's counter jungling. This Kayn is suffering so hard.
Absolutely. This is starving out your opponent at its finest right now. As you can see, they may find each other in the jungle, but Black Dove's not going to find any camps. He will find Bliss, but he's not going to find anything else. Bliss will go ahead and take that Gromp away. And like you said, it's getting hard for Black Dove to find anything on this Kayn.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. He needs to start looking relatively soon. He'll be able to pick up the Raptors a little bit here. Now, if his bot lane is building priority like they currently are, they'll be in a good spot to help him move forward, take this Scuttle Crab, and potentially his opponent's bottom half of the jungler, which can help to get him back in the game. But it doesn't look like they're making that call so much. Actually, they are moving up. Sungwoo is trying to help out his jungler right now, but ooh, with this back timer coming in, not looking good. Bliss going to be picking up another Scuttle Crab, going to maintain his complete control of the jungle, hugely ahead in experience, and this Kayn is really starting to struggle.
Absolutely, and you can see the ward coverage that's also going to be there for the side of Bangkok Gangbusters, and it's going to be difficult. It is. We talked about it before. When you look at the side of SCA, they want to get ahead. They want to get priorities in these lanes. As a knockup comes in the top lane, Vitamin Bread taking a little bit of damage here. Oh, another fight in the middle lane. Last breath is used by Duck Solo, and the Ignite. Braden ticking down, but it looks like he will live. Duck Solo takes a lot of damage from the tower. Bliss also ticks down. Oh, so interesting early on in this mid lane fight right now. Both junglers show up. A lot of damage taken for the side of Bangkok Gangbusters, and they're gonna have to figure out whether or not they're gonna be able to get this right now. I said it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, it is going to be very difficult. We saw that Braden used his teleport earlier, but he's not able to get anything out of it. He lost a lot of his health, and he's actually technically down in CS. Even if he pushes this into his opponent's side and sacrifices it to the minion god, he's still not going to find a large lead because he'll need to back again relatively soon. We saw that Bliss with the Aftershock went in, found a huge knockup, and got a lot of damage down onto Braden, but it's not necessarily being reciprocated. Black Dove still down the same 3 camps that we mentioned from earlier, is still very far away from his transformation, and the bot lane that we said was supposed to be a power point for the side of CSA is now behind. They're down 15 CS, and this is with almost no jungler interaction whatsoever. Bliss has not shown up, Black Dove has not shown up, and Kaisa, who we said was hard countered by this Kog'Maw, is already down 10 CS.
Absolutely, and you look down in this bot lane, Quicksilver and Sungwoo Jim have been pushed in almost the entire lane, but because Black Dove is so starved in this jungle, he hasn't been able to capitalize on that early aggression coming in from BBB. And right now, he finally gets another red buff. I think it's only his 2nd red buff of the game, but still, it's going to be difficult if he can't find some of these lanes again, because he's still going to be so far behind on Bliss on this Gragas.
Yeah, Bliss is honestly the star of this game for me by a large margin, having so much strength. He's up 5 camps already. He got the first 2 Scuttle Crabs. He got the 3rd one, and right now, with the way that his bot lane is ahead, they're looking to get another one.
Headbutt Pulverize comes in. Quicksilver taking so much damage. He will get stunned up in the tower. Hill comes in as long day and night. Will he tick down one more? And that is going to be first blood to the side of Cardi and Triple B. Very strong engage there. More engage looks like as a flash knockup comes in. Last breath comes in on from Duck Solo. Duck Solo looks like he's gonna take so much damage, but a pause comes in. Quicksilver unfortunately lost that game. I think he might have froze out in that bot lane as the Ignite ticked down, and that will cause a pause. Very, very advantageous, or disadvantageous, I should say, for Duck Solo here as he is under the tower, but we're going to have to see what this pause is. Crazy action we're starting to see a little bit here, Joshi.
Yeah, this is terrifying. We'll have to see. We're going to get right back into it.
And boom, Duck Solo right there. Will eat a turret shot, but he will also pick up a kill. Great, again, engage there from Bliss. Bliss coming in, but will Sungwoo Jim looks like he may be in some trouble here. Will Cardi go ahead and go for the headbutt pulverized combo? I don't think so. Sungwoo Jim just hit level 6, so I don't think that we're going to see any interaction there in the bot lane. In the mid lane, you can look and see that Black Dove right now is starting to get here for Duck Solo. Duck Solo is coming up, and he will go into his jungle because he's low down. But Sungwoo Jim, headbutt pulverize comes in. Lantern being strong. Teleport starting to come in. Sungwoo Jim misses the death sentence. Flash coming in from the Kaisa. Oh my goodness, so much. Oh, up top, Jace, great Jace, will stop the teleport as Bliss is here again. Another gank coming in from this Gragas. Vitamin Bread does not look like he's going to be long for this world as he slowly tries to walk away. Will get slowed up there by Bliss. Flashes away, but I still don't think he's going to be able to get there. Kane is here for the side of SRK. Oh, and he comes in. Cardi goes in for the headbutt pulverize, but I don't think he's going to be there. Viper Fang goes ahead, gets one kill on the side of Triple B, and Cardi looks like he's going to go ahead and go down, but so much damage is coming in from this Kaisa right now, and Black Dove will have to try and lick his wounds and get away. Quicksilver is here for some protection, so I don't know if Viper Fang will be able to go into this with no mana right now. So much action going across the board, and I believe that Vitamin Bread was able to get away in that top lane, so he's able to stay alive. 3 kills, excuse me, for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters, and they take an early lead.
Yeah, this is a big early lead coming out. 2,500 gold, not the biggest thing, but the story of this game is once again about these two junglers. Bliss having so much effect on the game. He's taking flashes, he's finding kills. He didn't do anything for the bot lane right there, but they have been doing so much. Look for another one.
Oh, and that's the last breath knockup coming in. So much chaos coming in. Braden will go ahead and die to Duck Solo. That is synergy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Duck Solo and Bliss coming in with the explosive cast into the last breath is just so much damage coming in. Braden, he was not going to be long for this world.
Yeah, that was looking really good coming out. They found the explosive cast and instantly ulted, even with the random barrel thrown the other way at the very end. It didn't matter. Duck Solo doesn't even need to use his Ignite, and this Yasuo is accelerating. He already has the Zeal complete. He's going to go back, have a completed Phantom Dancer most likely, and then this is going to get worse and worse. Braden with the W, it got nerfed in its duration. It doesn't root for nearly as long, and these ganks are going to be so hard. Black Dove finally picks up a kill. He found Cardi down in the bot lane, but it's not fast enough. It's not fast enough. We have to keep coming back to that. He's been kept so far down. Viper is going a little bit far forward. Alistair's not quite there. It's going to be A-okay. But Black Dove needs to find something soon. Otherwise, his power window is going to be completely gone.
I absolutely agree. And you can still see Viper Fang down in this bot lane on this Kaisa. She was able to put so much damage into Sungwoo Jim's Thresh. And so right now, we talked about it before, Quicksilver on this Kog'Maw was going to have the advantage coming into this bot lane, but right now it seems like all that advantage is already gone. Cardi goes in for a headbutt pulverize. Lantern will be taken to safety by Quicksilver. Sungwoo Jim right there. Lantern saved lives, and it did right there. Very beautiful play there, but still pressure coming in for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters, and I think that Cardi may also look for a dive here, and he will. Headbutt pulverize on the Suwon Jim. The box comes out. Good flay back into the tower. Cardi taking so much damage. Unbreakable use. Cardi looks like he may go down. Flash away. Quicksilver gets a kill. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, another combo coming in from Bliss and Duck Solo. Duck Solo will pick up one with another kill coming in for Bliss. Killing spree for this Yasuo, and it looks like Triple B will go ahead and take this mid lane tower.
Yeah, this mid lane turret's going to give them a lot of gold and open up the map so much, but that dive coming out from the side of BBB, I have to say, was very, very sloppy, and giving up that kill, giving Kog'Maw some gold will hurt them as the game goes longer, but they're bringing the Goon Squad down. You already see all these guys running down, looking for something. They might pick up the Mountain Drake as a freebie, but they're going to be able to take this red buff away as well and continue to grow the lead between Bliss and Black Dove, already 2 levels ahead and nearly double CS.
That's
They're not
got to
even
be
gonna take the Drake.
frustrating. That's got to be frustrating for the side of Black Dove. As you see, you talk about it before, Bliss has been in, around, all about his jungle, and there's nothing really he can do about it. Goes ahead, steals away that red buff. A lot is, you know, he's got 1 kill, but he's still so far down in CS. He's still so far down in camps. And right now, Bliss has been camped in that mid lane. 3 deaths on the side of Braden right now. 3 kills on the side of Duck Solo. This Yasuo is going to be a headache to deal with, especially when we talked about it earlier, getting into that back line.
Oh, would you look at that? Thresh is gone with the futures market. The one time you can be put into the negative current goal if you hit that X on your screen to take a look. But the big thing we want to talk about is the gold difference between individual members right now. Raiden's Rise is currently down 2,000 gold in the solo lane up against Duck Solo. A lot of the rest of the lead is in that bot lane. Viper Fang having a big lead, about 1,000 gold of his own up on Quicksilver. They're bringing a lot of people down. Uh-oh, there's a big fight.
There is. Knockup comes in from Black Dove. Cardi will go ahead and knock one away, but the Realm Warp comes in. Oh, great play there by Bliss to get one. Viper Fang gets a kill onto one, and another second kill. Duck Solo. Oh, huge explosive cataclysm coming in with the last breath. Another flash onto the Thresh and a triple kill. We talked about it before. Duck Solo on this Yasuo is a beast, and he's showing just why. 6 kills now as Bangkok Ballbusters lead 10 kills to 2.
Yeah, Viper Fang and Duck Solo doing so much damage, but the front line is not here. Where is Vitamin Bread? You need to make sure you take your vitamins so you can grow up big and strong, and right now this Kog'Maw is tiny. Needs to make sure he eats those full meals because that's a second turret going down. The Mountain Drake's going down as well, and this is starting to look pretty similar to Atlas versus Argyle earlier. They're taking everything. They got 2 turrets. They get the Mountain Drake. It's not quite as clean, but an 8,000 gold lead at 15 minutes is still monstrous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We see Phantom Dancer already finished on this Yasuo. He's going to go back and buy some more. He's going to be very, very rich. That is a very rich samurai right there. So right now we're looking at his side. We're going to try and reset here. CSA, what can they do to get back into this game? They're 7K gold down. Black Dove has really had a tough go of things in this jungle. 0-4 is Braden on this Rise right now. He was camped to high heaven. Right now, what is their win condition? Is it still putting it in the back pocket of Quicksilver, trying to get some damage out of this Kog'Maw? Kog'Maw has a Blade of the Ruined King finish, but what can CSA really do in the situation?
Unfortunately, Black Dove is effectively out of the game at this point. This is when Kayn is supposed to be at his strongest. Impossible to kill, heals so much, but he's not at that point. He's trying to help the top lane.
Oh, good silence coming in. Cardi will get the knockup on the 2. Viper Fang is here. So much damage coming in from this guy. Oh, takes the ultimate and gets another kill. Oh, Cardi will actually go ahead and secure that kill up for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters. Bliss comes in, another combo in. Explosive cast will not connect, but Viper Fang will secure a kill. And right now, Triple B is all over CSA in this one. 6 kills for the side of this Yasuo. 3 and 1 and 5 on this Viper Fang, on this Kaisa. It's all going the way of Bangkok Ballbusters.
Yeah, it's basically over. They 100-0'd Cho'Gath underneath his own turret. These guys do so much damage. We were talking about how most of the time you should be looking to have your first item complete sometime between the 15 to 20 minute mark. They're already at the same spot that Arbo was earlier. Yasuo with the nearly completed Infinity Edge, he'll be able to pick that up on his next pack at 17 minutes. This guy is so insanely far ahead. You talk about Yasuo as a big late game carry, able to outplay people, getting a lot of damage down against a lot of squishy targets and even these tanks, but he's already so far ahead. He has the Conqueror, he has the Infinity Edge. The resistances that Vitamin Bread and Black Dove and Sungwoo are going to be building aren't going to be aren't going to matter at all. There's so much true damage. 100% crit means that everything's going to be doing a little bit of extra damage there. And even someone like Quicksilver or Brayden, who don't have the resistances, they just have the straight health right now, aren't going to be able to stand up to that either. And the Baron hasn't even spawned yet. These guys are going to be able to do it so quickly. We were talking about the percent health damage is great. Okay, Great Jace doesn't get the big raptor there. I was going to be very sad when Black Dove was getting counter jungled by literally the entire enemy team, but look at how little damage he does to the orb.
Absolutely, and he gets out by being able to go through that wall. But I like the emote there from Black Dove. Lets him know that he understands that his jungle is no longer his, but he's still having fun with it. So right now, as we say that again, Viper Fang will go ahead and steal away this red buff as Shelly gets summoned down in the bot lane. Great Jace will sound the Oran Horn, and it looks like he will go ahead and get a knock up onto the Kog'Maw. It's straight into the last breath. Duck Solo, you are amazing. Another kill coming in for this mid laner, as right now they are wiping the floor. Bangkok Ballbusters are with CSA. Shelly gets another knock in on the tower. Duck Solo comes in, flashes away. Brayden does from the Alistar, and right now another inhibitor tower will go ahead and fall. Shelly gets a knock on to the inhibitor, and I think they are going to go ahead and stay for this one.
They're looking to potentially end the game right now. They have Shelly, they have the health bars to do so. They could win, but no, they're going to play it safe. They're going to play it smart. The Baron's coming up in about a minute, and they need to get on out of here. They have so much gold in their pockets. Every single member, once again, going back with 1,000 gold, finishing up second items at 19 minutes. They're trying to stop something, but the only real way that CSA has to get back into this game is if this game doubles or triples in length. Quicksilver only has a Blade of the Ruined King. His opponent is nearly done with the Nashor's Tooth. And in the mid lane, Rise, poor Brayden, doesn't even have a completed Cerebus, doesn't have a completed Roa. He's sitting on a tier and more components. And
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what Black Dove is building out of this Chain Vest. There's not something that you want to be building on Kayn at this point. If you're going second item Guardian Angel, something is either seriously right or seriously wrong.
I mean, we talk about it too. You said it right there. Brayden's still on brown paper bag boots. He's still not doing too well. He was ganked, again, like we said before, ganked to high heaven. Bliss, I want to point him out again. You talked about him in the early game in the domination that he had over Black Dove in the jungle. 1-0 and 10. 10 different assists coming in for him on this Gragas right now. As we see Duck Solo look like he may pick up another kill here on the Vitamin Bread. Vitamin Bread will get knocked up straight into the last breath. So much damage. Vitamin Bread does not look like he's going to be long for this world, and that's a legendary Duck Solo coming in for Bangkok Ballbusters.
Yeah, you can definitely see that this team has so much faith in their mid laner. Oh my gosh!
Cyka comes in! Oh, and I don't think that Black Dove will do much here. He will go ahead and eat the Acathian Rain, but it looks like he will go just down the Great Jace as, looks
so pretty.
Yeah, no, I will admit that I was a bit surprised here. Baron looks awesome with the new skin, but right now it will go over to the side of Bangkok Ballbusters pretty easily there. Right now, 2 members still down for the side of CSA. Not much they can do here. It looks like they will go Bangkok Ballbusters to the top lane, possibly going ready to set up these minions for an end.
Yeah, this is domination once again. I was saying they had faith in Duck Solo, in this Yasuo, because they picked around it. They got the Gragas, they got the Alistar, they got the Orin. Everybody on this team can set Yasuo up, and they're finding priority targets. They're finding the Rise, they're finding the Kog'Maw. And once you have that backline access, there's very little that your opponents can do. They can't do anything. They're so far down, and their opponents are going.
And here they go. Ornhorn comes in. Sung Woo Jin is just deleted. Duck Solo into the backline. Good explosive cast. Knocks back Black Dove. Black Dove looks like he's going to go down. Rampage for Viper Fang. Killer Instinct comes in. Another great damage pumped in on the Quicksilver. Quicksilver looks like he will stay on the fountain, but it's not going to be long. Viper Fang will get munched down by the choke gas, but that looks like that's all that CSA is going to be able to get in this one. Another knockup goes into a last breath. So much damage coming in right now for Duck Solo, and right just like that, Bangkok Ballbusters with the 20-3 win will go ahead and knock off CSA.
They're doing their best to echo back to the game we saw earlier today where Arbol did something similar to their opponents. But this game, so much trust, so much faith in the way that their mid laner can play. They ran through it so quickly, and there was absolutely nothing that Cyka could do. And now they just got to walk away from that, figure out what went wrong? And I mean, it's hard to say because it felt like everything ended up going wrong. They lost a bot lane they were supposed to win. Their jungle Kane never got off the ground. The front line that they had with Vitamin Bread was never able to join them. But was that their fault? It's hard to say because there was so little that they could do. Duck Solo had so many ganks coming out from Bliss. Bliss controlled that game so well. Just absolutely astounding.
And we talked about it going into the matchup. Bliss, we thought he was going to put a lot of attention on the bot lane, starting off with that Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, you know, being very, very squishy, very mobile, and also having an advantage over the Cyka. But they played to their win conditions. They played to their strong lane, and Bliss sat in that mid lane and got Duck Solo, especially after he hit level 6, was there against Braden every single way. Braden, look at the goal difference. 11,000 gold for the side of Duck Solo, only 5,000 gold, 5,500 right there coming in for Braden. So it shows in the matchup, it shows in the damage that got dealt. It definitely shows in the gold amount. And as we look the stats coming up here, post-game stats here, and I mean, 20 kills to 3, 42 assists.
Kysa's not even on the screen anymore.
My goodness, absolute chaos coming in for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters. I mean, I don't know about you, Yoshi, but I don't know if they want us to cast long games today. I think that's how this kind of worked out.
Yeah, I have to agree. Just complete devastation from one side to the other. These guys looking so good, so clean. I'm excited to see how they continue to play because as long as they have the trust in each other like they obviously did, I don't think there's another team in this league that can possibly stand up to them.
Absolutely not. And I said, we looked at the damages that came out. Obviously, the penalties and the pick and bans really hurt Cyka squad here. I mean, maybe they would have banned away the Yasuo. Maybe they would have banned away the Cyka. Maybe they would have banned away all 5 champions. But it didn't really matter. They didn't have that opportunity here, and it really hurt them. It really did. We look at the damage coming in. Even the Gragas put in more damage than just about everyone on their team. So it really looks like this was going to be one side of Bangkok Ballbusters, showing why they're one of the top teams sitting here at the top of the Typhoon division. They played great last week during the Open Waters event. They're playing great again, and it's really a testament to their teamwork.
Yeah, 100%. I think with that though, it's about time for us to sign off. I mean, beautiful games today, such dominant performances from some great teams. Shout out to those guys, Bangkok Ballbusters and Arbol Esports.
Absolutely. And shout out to you, Joshi. I appreciate you, man. This has been a fun time. This has been a great time. We had short games, but we had a lot of fun. So for myself, Aaron Pro Doggy Johnson, along with my co-caster, Joshua Josie Howard, I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show, and have a good night. This has been EGN.
Strength. He's up 5 camps already. He got the first 2 Scuttle Crabs. He got the 3rd one, and right now, with the way that his bot lane is ahead, they're looking to get another one.
Headbutt Pulverize comes in. Quicksilver taking so much damage. He will get stunned up in the tower. Hill comes in as long day and night. Will he take down one more? And that is going to be first blood.
But the story of this game is once again about these 2 junglers. Bliss having so much effect on the game. He's taking flashes. He's finding kills. He didn't do anything for the bot lane right there, but they have been doing so much. Look for another one.
Oh, and that's the last breath knockup coming in. So much chaos coming in. Braden will go right there. Very beautiful play there, but still pressure coming in for the side of Bangkok Ballbusters. And I think that Cardi may also look for a dive here, and he will. Headbutt Pulverize on the Suwon Gym. The box comes out. Good flay back into the tower. Cardi taking so much damage. Unbreakable use. Cardi looks like he may go down. Flash away. Quicksilver gets a kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, another combo coming in from Bliss and Duck Solo. Duck Solo will pick up one with another kill.
Lead about 1,000 gold of his own up on Quicksilver. They're bringing a lot of people down. Uh-oh, there's a big fight.
There is knockup comes in from Black Dove. Cardi will go ahead and knock one away, but the Realm Warp comes in. Oh, great play there by Bliss to get one. Barber Fan gets a kill onto one, and another second kill. Duck Solo, oh, huge explosive cataclysm coming in with the last breath. Another flash onto the Thresh, and understands that his jungle is no longer his, but he's still having fun with it. So right now, as we say that again, Viper Fang will go ahead and steal away this red buff as Shelly gets summoned down in the bot lane. Great Jace will sound the Oran Horn, and it looks like he will go ahead and get a knockup onto the Kog'Maw. It's straight into the last breath. Duck Solo, you are amazing. Another kill coming in for this mid laner, as right now they are wiping the floor. Bangkok Ballbusters are with CS go down. Rampage for Viper Fang. Killer Instinct comes in. Another great damage popped in on the Quicksilver. Quicksilver looks like he will stay on the fountain, but it's not going to be long. Viper Fang will get munched down by the choke gas, but that looks like that's all that CSA is going to be able to get in this one. Another knockup goes into a last breath. So much damage coming in right now for Duck Solo, and right just like that, Bangkok Ballbusters with the 20-3 win will go ahead and knock off.
No turning back, man, I'm ready to go. Coming with me or I'm going alone. Changes, man, I'm talking changes. On a crash course, but I ain't afraid of danger. Now let me give you what you came for.